To be a sustainable member of a community means you are maintaining the assets valuable to your community so that they are around for future generations to enjoy. As a citizen of the Waterbury community, there are certain activities I do and choices that I make that are sustainable. Then there are others that are unsustainable. Some of the sustainable activities and choices include riding my bike into town, taking the bus to and from school, reusing bottles for water, composting, using energy-efficient light bulbs, handing down clothes to my brother, and buying clothes from a thrift store. Some of the activities and choices that are unsustainable include not carpooling, taking long showers, using oil for heating, and doing almost 3 loads of wash a day. For some people who have escaped from the cave that tells us to keep buying new items and using up valuable resources, it's easier to be sustainable. Then again, for others who struggle with the blind conformity of society, it's harder to be sustainable. It's easy for me to be sustainable when the activities I do or choices I make are accepted. It's easy when the blind conformity of society tells me that they are the trend and cool to do, without being made fun of. Some of these activities include riding my bike into town, reusing bottles for water, handing down clothes to my brother, and using energy-efficient light bulbs. What do all these activities have in common? Well, they are accepted as the trend. For example, when my friends and I want to get together in town, we'll call each other up and ride our bikes to the town square. Sometimes it's challenging for me to be sustainable when the activities I do and choices I make are not accepted, when the blind conformity of society tells us the activities are not cool and not the trend or the newest thing on the market. For example, I try to buy clothes from a thrift store, which are usually hand-me-down type of clothes. Sometimes it's hard to do this when the blind conformity of society is always trying to persuade me into buying the most expensive and stylish clothes I can find. Blind conformity also tells us it's not worth the time to grow vegetables when you can just as well buy vegetables from the grocery store. It's easy to be unsustainable when things to help you be sustainable aren't put right in front of you. This tends to happen because we don't feel or have the time to go out of our way to do something extra. For example, carpooling. It takes time to call our friends and arrange a time and place to meet. Therefore, we don't take the extra time to make that arrangement. Instead, it's just easier to go by yourself, which is much more unsustainable. It's challenging to be unsustainable when activities and choices are right there in front of you, helping you to become sustainable. If you're confronted with a choice to be sustainable or unsustainable, most people would pick sustainable. For example, sometimes you'll go to a restaurant that has you do sustainable practices. After you're done eating, they'll put leftover food in the compost bin and recycle any plastics or paper. When they do this, it's obviously hard to be unsustainable. I've learned that being fully sustainable is a lot harder than it looks, and that most people probably have areas in which they are unsustainable and can improve upon. In the coming future, we as a society will need to make changes in our lifestyle to maintain our natural resources. It is going to be difficult to be more sustainable because we are going to have to learn to take less and ignore more ads. Time is quickly running out, and we need to make lifestyle changes now. We just have to break free from the shackles in the cave that tell us we need to buy the newest items on the market and keep using valuable resources.